Oh, did you pick a doozy of a recipe today? Yep, those are ribs. Those are ribs on a rotisserie. I know you're questioning yourself, what is he doing? I know Guy's all about barbecue, but isn't it usually low and slow in a big smoker or one of his big rigs that he has? Nope, we're doing it Argentinian style, folks. These ribs are gonna rock your world. Listen, I love ribs. I think everybody does. Even when the ribs are bad, I still love the ribs, all right? Now, maybe you don't have a smoker. Maybe you only have an oven. Maybe you don't even know what's going on with the world of ribs. Now, you got your baby backs, you got your St. Louis, you got your beef ribs. I'm gonna take you through one of my favorite recipes, and you're gonna dig this. Baby back ribs. Now, baby back ribs are kind of the premium in ribs. It's meaty, it's fatty, and what makes it really delicious is when you go low and slow. But I'm gonna teach you a different way to do it, okay? We're gonna go Argentinian style. So what we're gonna do is gonna throw these on a skewer, hit them with a little salt and pepper. We're gonna let them go on the rotisserie. They're gonna get tender, but they're gonna have this really fantastic bark, this really nice crust, this caramelization that's gonna go on. If you don't have a rotisserie, don't worry, you can still do this in the oven. Let's start first things first. Fresh cracked black pepper, all right? Now, if you go and look in your cabinet right now and you find that you have black pepper that has been pre-ground, when was it pre-ground, who pre-ground it, and where was that done? This is the key. Hold tight. I recommend a really good spice grinder. And don't cross-utilize your spice grinder, by the way. Don't have the spice grinder that you also use for your coffee, because I'll tell you a little story. I came back from barbecue camp. Yes, there was such a thing back in the day. And I came back and took the spice grinder, put all these chili de árbol in it, ground them all up, made this great rub for these ribs I was doing. And the next day, Lori made some coffee, and she's like, oh my gosh, I think the coffee's poison. Well, because all the residual oil of the chili de árbol was still inside of it. So have one that you just do for your spices. So look at that grind. Okay? And this is one of the things I talk about. Come here, take a look. See how it's almost kind of grayish brown? You can smell it right now, all that essence. This is truly the key to making these ribs so fantastic, is having some really great ground black pepper, okay? So we'll start off with some kosher salt. Know your salt, have a really good relationship with your salt. Not all salt's the same, so get a type of salt that you like to work with and stick with it, and then you'll know your sodium levels, okay? Now we go with the cracked black pepper. And you can see how liberal I am with this. I mean, I'm really throwing it on. I know it looks like it's a little heavy right now, but a couple things are gonna happen. One, some's gonna fall off. Two, a lot of it's gonna be absorbed. And three, you've got a lot of meat and a lot of bone going in this probably 2.5 pound rack of ribs, okay? A little more black pepper down. In this dish, the critical success factor is this black pepper, okay? You can't cut the corner. You can't say, well, I don't have a spice grinder, I can't make it work. Get a blender. Do whatever you have to do. I mean, hit it with a shoe, but make sure that you have the cracked black pepper, okay? We'll flip it over. A lot of time, we'll take the silver skin out here. But this, with going on the rotisserie, with trying to hold it together, I want to retain a little moisture, and you can talk to any barbecue expert. There are some that do it, some that don't. This time, I'm not taking it out. A little more salt. Okay, a little more cracked black pepper. Now, if you have the chance to let this set up like this for a few hours before you go to the rotisserie, do it. But it's not like you're gonna lose out if you don't. Rub that in, get some on the sides right there. So rotisserie is this kind of crazy thing. We're gonna use centrifugal force to keep the fat that is rendering off of the meat, continuing to baste the meat as it goes. So you go to the grocery store and you love getting yourself the rotisserie chicken. Why is it so good? Exactly that reason. So here's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go through one rib to secure it. I'm gonna go through another rib and just kind of weave it through as easy as you can without it, without poking yourself. Not all ribs are created equal, and I really don't want to poke myself with that. Come on, there we go, okay? Different types of rotisseries, different types of skewers, but you get the general idea right here. There's one. This is definitely when I like to have Hunter here at the ranch. This is Hunter's job right now, but I'm out here doing this for you. I hope you really are enjoying this. Hey, come on, watch this. Guy Fieri's really struggling on this, on getting these ribs into this. So now let's talk about what we're gonna go take it to. We're gonna go take it to a charcoal grill. We used to have a gas barbecue at the house, and I gotta be honest with you, I'm as guilty as anybody else. I love gas barbecues. They're simple, they're quick, you boom, you turn it on, here it goes, we're gonna grill something off. But what you lose is you lose that radiant heat. You lose that extra flavor. So for the little bit of time that it takes to get a chimney, put some charcoal on it, put some paper underneath, or come to a burner like this and fire it up. For that little bit extra time that it takes, I gotta be honest with you, the flavor difference, the sear difference, the overall barbecue experience is, I really believe, double. So that's what we're using right now. So I got some regular charcoal. All right, so what I've got in here, I started off with the regular charcoal, and then just to perfume this a little bit, and also to add some heat, I threw the hardwood in there. And this is some oak, actually oak that we have here at Hunt Ride Ranch. I've got this set up. You're gonna have all different types of rotisseries, and like I said, if you don't have the rotisserie, don't worry, okay? You can do this in the oven. You're not gonna get quite the sear. You can put a little broil at the end of it to get some of that nice, crispiness on top of the ribs. But right now, this is super easy. We'll take this, drop it in the rotisserie. Hopefully we're on. Hang on, it gets better. There we go. See, this isn't so perfect. This is just you and me hanging out. So this is exactly what it takes. I thought I had it plugged in. Anyhow. So I'm gonna start this first one. We're gonna get it rolling. And this Carson rotisserie, these guys make the bomb rotisserie. They make one of these that's actually in a suitcase. I don't know if they still make them, but I have one that's a portable one. I'm gonna go to that side. That's it. I gotta watch my flame. I gotta watch the height. I gotta see how these are cooking. While these are going, let's go make some chimichurri. Next time you're grilling chicken breast or lamb or fish, try making this chimichurri. We're gonna have the acid, we're gonna have the salt, we're gonna have a little bit of the sweet. You're gonna dig it. All right. We're gonna start off with a little red bell pepper. Just give it a quick chop. You make this, if you help this out a little bit and give it a chop before you put it in the food processor, you'll be a lot happier with the result, because if you put in this big piece like this, by the time I break this down, everything is paste. And that's not what we want. We want to make sure that we have a little bit of texture to this. Okay, so a little white onion. There we go. Garlic, however much you like. I'm always a little garlic heavy. A little of that fresh cracked black pepper. Herbs. Herbs are super key in this. I'm telling you, and fresh herbs. So if the herbs aren't looking great, you're not making chimichurri. Remember that. It's always dictated off of what are the ingredients you have to what you're gonna make. I get my heart set on things just like anybody does. Like, oh, we gotta have this. You go to the grocery store, they don't have it. Brussels sprouts, we're a big Brussels sprout family. But if you go and the Brussels sprouts are 10 bucks a pound, tonight's not Brussels sprout night, okay? Some fresh basil. This is out of the garden up here. Some fresh parsley, and a little bit of oregano. Again, I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a chop. Actually, I need a little more parsley. Parsley is really kind of the key on this. And it's all right that you have the stems, don't worry about it. And you see what I'm storing my herbs in? See that I'm storing in that jar with a little bit of water in the bottom? That's the best way to keep them fresh. You go ahead and leave them in that bag and put them in your fridge and let them sit down there in that crisping drawer. And in 2 days, you're gonna have yourself just a big, wilted, soggy mess. All right? Fresh herbs. Let's get in a little bit of red wine vinegar, a little bit of acid with that, and some limes. Give the limes a little roll. I know you see us do this all the time. It really does kind of open them up. And you know what I really want to do? Hang on one second. I want to get a little lime zest in here. Watch that technique right there. Push, turn it back, push, turn it back, push, turn it back. And if you've done it the right way, it's almost made a complete loop all the way around it, okay? Then we're not getting too far down into the pith. I know, it's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, but you'll get it after a while. Okay, little lime juice. Again, where are the kids? Okay, so about I don't know, quarter cup of lime juice. You gotta really kind of check this also and see where it's at for you, because if it's a little too acidic, and a little more of that red bell pepper, just kind of take its time. And also, the real key to this is letting this rest a bit. Letting this go for maybe 2 hours. So that's what we're gonna do. We got the ribs on first, which was key. That, touch of some olive oil. Just a pulse. I like my chimichurri a little bit on the rustic side. Touch of salt. A lot of moisture in those veggies are gonna come out from that salt and from the acid. Just pulsing it. I wanna have some texture. Look at that, beautiful. That was dynamite. Exactly where I want it. This is only gonna get better with a little bit of time. And if you had to make this right now and serve it to your family, don't get me wrong, they would love it. But if we have a little bit of time, let's let it rest. So, chimichurri's done, ribs are rolling, come back in 2 hours, put it together. See you in a bit. That's what I'm talking about right there. Argentinian ribs. I mean, this is about as real deal as they get. I just want you to look at this. It's a little bit different texture, okay, than low and slow. I think they're gonna have a little more moisture to them. But these right here, when you get into this, just look at how juicy, but look at the crust. Look at the bark on the outside of that. Salt and pepper. Oh my gosh, that's good. It's succulent, it's juicy, it's still meaty, it's not burned, I mean, if that doesn't look delicious, I don't know what you're thinking. We grabbed some of that chimichurri. Oh, you can tell I don't love it. It's one of our go-to recipes here at the ranch. It's quick. It's simple, it's easy, and like I said, if you don't have the rotisserie, don't worry about it, you can go to the oven. The key is that salt, that fresh cracked black pepper, delicious, fatty, meaty pork ribs, and this tangy, supportive, delicious chimichurri going along with it. You want it fast, you want it quick, you want it easy, I brought it to you. Hope you dig it, make it. Tell me what you think, send me a message. Adios.